Headline: Tesla overtaken by BYD as world's biggest EV maker. Fourth quarter sales from Elon Musk Group beat estimates but fall behind Chinese rival for the first time. Headline: China's BYD overtakes Tesla as top-selling electric car seller. Builder Dreams outsells rival in final quarter of 2023. Figures for battery-only vehicles. And hi friends, welcome back to the channel. It's always fun talking Tesla with you, and I understand a lot of people get really emotional with this stuff. Essentially, you're down a whole bunch of money. You want to get your money back, so you watch this kind of stuff religiously, wondering, is it ever going to come back? Now, unfortunately, this looks like to be the end of the party over at Tesla, and moreover, this could be the top of the bubble. I want to show you guys some things, and you'll see exactly what I'm looking at. And let's just start. So first, this is the chart here. You can see the black line is BYD. So they're going up, right? They're selling. Tesla's also selling cars. I can see it, right? But they're not growing at the same rate that BYD is. Moreover, BYD just eclipsed Tesla for the first time. So this is actually a really interesting development. And there's a couple other fascinating things that you need to understand when you're talking about Tesla stock. The first being that Tesla stock is the most popular stock among retail investors. It's been like that for a really long time. Essentially, a lot of retail hype, a lot of YouTube pumpers get you into this thing, and there's a lot of people that bought this thing at the top, and that's sort of why people get so emotional over this stuff. Now, I want to show you a few charts and make it really simple. This is Tesla stock, right? I can see the chart here. Price as a recording is 248. I can see it. And it had a fantastic run if you got in early, right? You guys can see that for yourself. The problem is for some people, they actually bought it at the top, and they're down roughly 39%. Maybe by the time this hits the airways, maybe 40%. And so that's a significant amount of money. And that's why people get so emotional about this kind of thing, because they want to believe that the growth is going to be forever. The basic gist of it is that when you watch the Tesla pumper channels, they'll say, hey guys, look, Tesla stock did really, really awesome the last couple of years, and therefore it will be the same. So what the pumper channels try to tell you is like, it'll be like this. Right. And or they may even make it like that. The problem is that your growth can't be crazy high forever, right? This is a tough concept for people to understand, but this is something that happens to retail quite a lot. Is, you're looking around for stuff to invest, and you say, okay, what's gone a whole bunch up in the past say 5-10 years, something like that. Gee, I want to buy that because I figure that's gone up before, it must go up again. And this is a really vital lesson when you first get started in this stuff, is that past performance does not equal future results, right? The rate of growth isn't necessarily going to be the same. I'll give you a simple example. I build one car. The next year I build 2 cars. Oh my God, I doubled. The next year I build 4 cars. Oh my God, I doubled. The next year I build 8 cars. Oh my God, I doubled. But suddenly, when you get to be like, say, you're making 1 million cars that go from 1 million to 2 million, and then 2 million to 4 million, and then 4 million to 8 million, is very, very different than going from 1 to 2 to 4 to 8. Do you guys understand the difference? If you don't understand, please rewind the video and listen again. The basic gist of it is that the bigger that they get, they can't keep doubling. They can't keep growing like crazy. The rate of growth is slowing. So they're still growing, just not at the same pace as before. Moreover, I think it's really fascinating is if you look at the chart of Tesla, that's the Tesla chart right there, and you compare that to Bitcoin, you're going to find very, very similar charts. You're also dealing with a changing monetary environment. That's why we talk about on this channel, what's the Fed doing, what are the interest rates, and what the consumer doing. Do people have any money to buy said stuff? Are they buying Bitcoin? Are they buying Tesla, etc.? I personally think the party is over. Interest rates are higher now. Moreover, there's more competition. Moreover, you can see it for yourself just in facts that BYD has now passed Tesla in terms of sales. And I think it's deliveries. Is that the actual title? Is deliveries? What's the actual title here? It is fourth. Okay, it's sales. So I just want to show you get the number right here. Moreover, here, take a look at this. This is Cisco. And you can see this for yourself. Cisco was one of the hype stocks back in the dot-com bubble. And in fact, if you bought it at the top, you actually still down your money. This is actually a really interesting thing to think about, is because it's not that Cisco completely disappeared and went bankrupt. It's just that they were part of the hype, right? And I think Tesla's going to be a similar situation. Now, one thing that is another big piece of news, which you mentioned before on the channel, but I want to mention it to you again, the EV tax credits are going away, right? Here's a headline here, January 2nd, 2024. More EVs lose U.S. tax credits, including Tesla, Nissan, and GM. So it's not just Tesla. Other vehicles are losing it. My understanding is that in the past, about 43 vehicles qualified for the EV tax credit. I think it's like a $7,500 thing. And then now it's only 19. And who knows, maybe next year they may get rid of that entirely. That is certainly within the realm of possibility. Part of Tesla's success has been government subsidies. And it's actually really fascinating because if you listen to the pumper channels, they're just like always hating on the government, hating on regulation, hating on stuff like that. But part of Tesla's success is government subsidies. If you don't understand the whole tax thing, please look this up for yourself and not just making up random numbers. Again, the less vehicles, right, are qualifying for this thing. And I wouldn't be surprised if they cut this thing entirely. Moreover, talking about whether or not Tesla can go crazy growth for the rest of mankind, the rest of history, I just want to point this out to you. Elon Musk is 52 years old. How much longer do you think he's going to do this? It's a simple question. And part of the thing that they never talk about is like the pumper channel is like, oh, well, Elon Musk is awesome. He's going to do everything forever and he's superhuman. And I want to point this out to you. This is another headline. This is coming out January 2nd, 2024. Value of X has fallen 71% since purchase by Musk and name change from Twitter. The reason why this is important, remember we talked about, is this the top of the bubble, et cetera, because when we look back in history and we say, okay, so what went wrong with Tesla? We'll be like, okay, so why did this dude buy Twitter? Like, what was up with that? Why would you spend $44 billion on this thing and then lose like 71% of your money, if not all of your money? Like, why would you do that? And moreover, it's like, why would you build this Cybertruck thing and expect a whole bunch of people to spend over $100,000 for this thing? Like when we look back, and we'll probably laugh at this stuff, and we're like, people really bought this stuff? Like, people really believe this whole Twitter thing? And this is what's really been fascinating about the whole sort of Tesla pumper channels is that, guys, I get it. If you love cars, fantastic, go for it, right? But it's weird that suddenly we're transitioning to like, I love Twitter, and then we transition to like, I love robots. It's like, what are we talking about anymore? And so, I feel like we're in this world that like whatever Elon Musk says, and then people are just going to follow it. So for example, if Elon Musk says, hey guys, I love Dogecoin, let's all buy it. And then suddenly people do. And in fact, I'm not just making this stuff up. That's what happened. And so, I guess the next thing he's going to come out and say, hey guys, I love, underwear with sheep on it, and therefore you should buy underwear with sheep on it. So if that happens, you know for sure that you're in the bubble world. But I think this could be the top. Moreover, this is something I stress with you, and I just wanted to show you numbers. And I know that people get emotional and mad when I show people numbers, but please look up the stuff for yourself. So this is over on Google. It's easy to find. It's not hard. But this is something that the pumpers do. So they'll talk about revenue. So I can see right there's revenue. Your revenue is up 8.84% year over year. However, they ignore all the other numbers. They only show you one. They ignore all the others. It's pretty ridiculous. And basically, they're lying by omission. So yes, your revenue is still increasing year over year, but your operating expenses are up 42%. Your net income is down 43%. Your net profit is down 48%. Your earnings per share are down 37%, and your EBITDA is down 38%. Now, Tesla trades at a PE multiple of 80. That's according to Google. I was just looking at that. This is the crazy chart here. Yeah, 80. And so the thing is, okay, so what does that mean? Well, basically, if you're trading at a PE of 80, then that means that you would expect Tesla's earnings to basically go 80% next year. I think that's a tough call when essentially this past year over year, they're down in terms of their income, down 43%, EBITDA down 35%, and earnings per share down 37%. So, guys, I get it. The pumper channels aren't going to ignore all that stuff and they pretend like it doesn't exist. But it doesn't mean that they are telling you the truth. They're lying by omission. Moreover, this is actually another really interesting thing that Tesla does, and I want to point this out really clearly to make sure that you understand it. So read the headline here. Tesla leaves Cybertruck watchers guessing about the debut quarter. So basically, they released their numbers, but they didn't release real numbers on Cybertruck. Moreover, there's an interesting thing that Musk always talks about, how he's saying, yes, but we're so awesome. We have the best-selling vehicles of all time. This kind of stuff. He says that kind of stuff. And this is something I want to really point out. Tesla tries to hide their numbers, okay? This is from their website. If you read it really carefully, it says quarter 4, 2023, Model 3/Y production 476, deliveries 461. Can you see what Tesla's doing here? Then they say other models 18, and then the deliveries are about 22. Can you see what they're doing? Can you spot it? I will point it out to you. I'll underline it again. Model 3/Y. So what they do, and the reason why I'm pointing this out to you, is they combine the numbers between the 3 and the Y. And so we don't actually know which is selling what, because they're combining numbers of their models. So not every car company does that kind of thing. That's something that Tesla does. And so it's a way to sort of pump up their numbers. And so then they can say that they sell a whole bunch of Ys if they want, or they can say they sell a whole bunch of 3s if they want. But we don't actually know the actual numbers because they're combining two different models into their delivery estimates or numbers. You guys understand what I'm saying? I know that it may be really complicated for you to understand that. Tesla may not be telling you fully the truth, but this is something that they do, right? This is something that if you take a look at this as well, if you look at this kind of chart here, this is based on Tesla's numbers. So we can see, again, the sales of the 3 and the Y, but we don't necessarily have that divided out. And this is just one example of how you can pump up numbers, right? So then suddenly, like, if you combine numbers of two different models, then you can start talking about how you have the best-selling car of all time, that kind of stuff, right? But you're combining two numbers. So anyway, I get it. You're not going to understand this if you're a Tesla pumper. You're just like, what's he talking about? I don't know what he's talking about. I get it. Moreover, this is actually just another growth chart of Tesla. See, I can see that they're growing, but they're just not growing at the same rate that they were. Moreover, I mean, it's actually fairly flat, right? It's just not the growth that's going to be in the past. And this is generally how retail investors think. They say, okay, what's been the best stock, say, in the past 5-10 years? They say Tesla, right? So I'm also telling you the truth on that. Yes, it's done really well, but it's not going to continue growing at the same rate. Moreover, this just feels like the top of the bubble. You have the Cybertruck issue, right? Being like, hey, I'm so awesome, I'm going to build this crazy car that people are going to buy, right? We'll see if that's true or not. I think it's a bubble myself. 2, it also mirrors the chart of Bitcoin. 3, these are the end of the tax credits. And 4, they're now getting passed by a Chinese manufacturer. So that's what's up with that. I'm sorry that you're down 40% on your money. You know, it is what it is, but hopefully you live and learn. And honestly, guys, if you want to get good at this stuff, just read everything. Just read everything. And don't just ignore stuff, right? So when the pupper channels are telling you, hey guys, look at revenue growth, look at revenue growth, look at revenue growth, and they ignore all the other numbers, then you know they're lying to you. So please be careful out there. Take care, and I'll catch you on the next video.